Yo, I'm going to give you 3 quick tips on hiring writers from Upwork. So, earlier this week, I hired several writers to help me out with some content on one of my sites. I'm going through improving content, adding more content, that sort of thing. And it reminded me that sometimes it's hard to hire people. Now, I've hired dozens of different writers for various different content. I've actually hired a lot of people in my old corporate job as well. So I've done a lot of interviewing. I've done a lot of, things related to hiring and the HR aspect. Now, it's hard. You make a lot of mistakes along the way, and that is part of the knowledge that I'm going to share with you today. So before I go any further, I do want to mention there's a link in the description to get the templates. I highly recommend that you use the templates because they work well. I've used them a lot, and I've also, given them to other people to use as well. Viewers like yourself, readers of Niche Site Project, and so on. What's up in the chat? Good to have you on. And I'm going to try and make this a quick video today. So I'm going to give you 3 tips. Don't forget, if you want these templates to make this a little bit easier on yourself, you can get all my content templates that I use for hiring writers. And even if you're not hiring a writer, you could use the same ideas for hiring other virtual assistants. So the tip number 1 is to have a clear and concise job posting. It doesn't mean you should have like a one-liner or anything like that. It should be clear and concise. And I like to have it organized well, sort of like an actual job posting. Now, I don't know if you've looked through some of the job postings on Upwork. Some of them are pretty rough. It may say something like, I need 4,000 words by tomorrow. My budget's low, and there's like no punctuation. All right, you see a lot of really poorly written job postings. And if you have a bad job posting, you're not going to attract sort of high-end writers. Additionally, in the job posting, I like to ask questions where, I leave it open-ended. So I may say like, do you know American English? Can you explain why? If they give you a one-word answer, they're a writer, right? You want them to write stuff for you. So if they don't do a good job answering like a pretty simple question, then you probably don't want to hire them to write, 3,000 words for you, stuff like that. Second tip is to have a detailed job aid. So it's not a good idea to just give the writer a title and then walk away. You don't know what you're going to get. They may be doing the best that they can, guessing at what you might want. But if it's a little bit off from what you expected to get, then you're going to be disappointed and you're going to think that they're doing a bad job and they don't know what they're doing, stuff like that. However, if you give them a template, sort of like the perfect Amazon review template, or maybe you can look at a review like on the Wirecutter and send them like a sample and say like, I kind of want it formatted like this. If you give them an idea of what you want within your job aid, you're going to be much better off. Now, and that's the thing where these templates come in really handy. So highly recommend you have some template, some working template. Again, the perfect Amazon review is one that I would recommend to you, and it works well. You could customize it for whatever you need. It's 100% modular. If you're unfamiliar with the perfect Amazon review, you can search on my channel for it. You should be able to find it. And I'll probably add a link to this description so you can find it. So that's tip number 2, have a clear job aid so that whatever your expectations are, you could let the writer know with that job aid. All right. So that's really important. Tip number 3, the last tip for today, is to give feedback to the writer, especially if you're going to work with them on a longer term basis, maybe a few posts or a few months of time. Give feedback to the writer and let them know what you like and what you don't like. That way they can adjust. Additionally, you should ask for feedback from the writer. Is my job aid clear? Does this make sense? Let them know that you want to improve it and that you welcome their feedback. Don't take it personally. It generally probably won't be personal or anything like that, but you should definitely try to get feedback so that you can improve your job posting. All right. So again, the templates are in the description. It's a great starting point, but you're going to need to customize it for whatever you're doing. And then further, you probably want to put in your own voice. You want to make it sound like you, so that as you're getting more feedback from the writers and improving it, it's your custom, job posting. It's your custom, like everything that you're working on. So that is the overall, tip, the tips. Or there's three of them. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. There's three of them. So number one, have a clear and concise job posting that looks professional. Point number two is to have a detailed job aid. And number three is to ask for feedback and then provide feedback. And if you are, by the way, on the feedback point, if you're trying to give someone feedback and they don't take it and they're defensive, then it's probably not going to work out. So that's a good sign that they're not going to adjust with you. And if you're working in a collaboration with someone, then there's some compromise you have to make. I would assume they want to get better at what they're doing and get a good review and that sort of thing. All right, so those are my 3 tips. I'll look at the chat real quick to see if you have any questions about the topic of the day, which is content. So content and hiring writers. If not, I'm going to be doing a Q&A tomorrow, right? Adjusting the schedule a little bit. So it'll be Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and schedule it for probably around this same time tomorrow. So if you have a general Q&A unrelated to content, save it for tomorrow. Or if you're watching the recording, which I think a lot of people will, I recommend you have a look at the links, of course. And then if you have a question, leave it in the comments and I'll definitely have a look. We have Mark and other Mark and Thomas on. Hi is on. 10 hot deals. Doing well today. Any questions? If not, I'm gonna jet. I've been getting a lot of feedback that my videos are pretty long, so I'm going to try and do a blend. I'm going to try and do some shorter ones. It's easier to take a really long time to say things, and that's why some of the videos are super long. It's much harder to be concise, I'll be honest with you. It's easy to ramble on and on. I'm doing it right now. Very easy to do. Filler words, you just throw them in. Being concise is very difficult. I know there's a little bit of a delay here, so I'll pause just for a second. Evan, what's up? You almost never catch them live. And today, I'm just going to be super brief. So, cool. I think we're good to go. And I may do a couple more other just random live streams coming up. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to do them in different parts of the day too, because like Evan, sometimes, it's just a bad time. It's lunchtime over in the East Coast. So, and some people don't mind the long videos. Other people do. I can appreciate that. I mean, I rarely watch like really long videos. It has to be like someone I really like. So, all right, cool. Welcome to the new folks. I'm going to have to jet for now. I'm going to record a couple other videos. So feel free to leave comments in this video. If you have any, specific questions, and I may shoot the video today. If you ask right away, because I'm shooting a few later on. Thanks everyone for hopping on live, and we'll chat soon. Thanks.